I must inform us that we are busy with the ordinary session of the Regional Council. And as per the standing rules and order of this House, I would expect all of us to retain the necessary order, silence. It is not befitting for men to sit in this chamber with their heads on. So therefore I would request them to remove their heads from the start of our session up until we finish our session. Honorable Governor of the Hardap region, Riaan McNab, Honorable Regional Councillors present here today, Honorable Mayors, in particular the Mayor of Mariendal, Honorable Ethel Isaacs, the Mayor of Rehboth Town Council, Honorable Karisep, Mayor of Aranos Town Council, all the chairpersons and local authority councillors present here today. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you all present in the gallery as we have gathered this morning for the State of the Region address. We have not gathered here only to reflect on the achievements, but also to reaffirm our collective commitment to the aspirations of all inhabitants of Hardap, and in particular that of the Namibian nation. As leaders of Hardap region, at all various fronts, having different daunting tasks, we have the responsibility to ensure that the objectives of our National Development Plan, NDP 6, is achieved, and that tangible improvements are taking place in the lives of our people. Our gathering here is not mainly only to respond to the achievements, but it also demonstrates that it is an opportunity for us to assess progress that we are making in our region. And I must say that the success of our region depends on stronger partnerships. Partnerships in pursuit of prosperity for all inhabitants of Hardap region. I therefore has got that privilege this morning, as per the provisions of the Namibian Constitution, Article 110A, which reads as follows: mainly to the functions of our governor related to the Hardap Regional Council. A regional governor shall attend a meeting of the regional council of the region for which he or she is the regional governor once every year, which meeting shall occur after the President and Cabinet attend Parliament in terms of Article 32, subsection 2 thereof. During the meeting referred to in sub-Article 5, the regional governor shall address the regional council on the state of the region, planned activities of the central government in the region, report on the activities of the central government of the previous year in the region, and be available to respond to questions. It is on the basis of that premise that I have got the singular honor to invite the governor of the great, the mighty Hardap region, Honorable Riaan Charles McNab, to address the nation of Hardap on the state of the region. May we all rise to receive the Honorable Governor. The floor is yours.
God is good, and all the time, let us give God a hand of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Pastor Kiba, for leading us the right way. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Simon Gerardo Skoper, Honorable Edward Wambo, our Deputy Minister and Regional Councillor, Management Committee members, Members of Parliament, all regional councillors, worship the Mayor of Marintal Town, Honorable Ethel Isaacs, all local authority councillors, chairpersons and mayors of towns, the acting chief regional officer, all heads of OMAs, respected chiefs and councillors of traditional authorities, staff members of the Hardap Regional Council, and line ministries, managers and staff of the business fraternity, various stakeholder companies, private partners and SOEs, the media, residents of Hardap region, our fellow youth, good morning. I stand before you in this August House today to deliver the State of the Region address for the Hardap region for the fiscal year 2025-2026. In fulfillment of the mandate conferred by Article 110A, 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, read together with Section 1A and D of the Regional Councils Act, Act number 22 of 1992. This address will serve as both an account of our region's performance during the reporting period and a reflection on collective progress we have achieved. This address highlights the milestone reached, acknowledges the challenges encountered, and outlines the strategic priorities aimed at advancing the socio-economic development of the region. Before I commence, I wish to acknowledge a profound tragedy that befell our region and our nation on the 30th of August 2025. On this day, a devastating road accident claimed the lives of 16 members of the Namibian Correctional Services, police officers, and 2 civilians. This devastating loss left families, colleagues, and communities in mourning and serves as a solemn reminder of the fragility and preciousness of life. In the face of this tragedy, people from all walks of life come together in solidarity, compassion, and support for the bereaved families. This collective response reflects the strength of our unity and the resilience of our communities. The dedication and service of the officers who lost their lives in the line of duty underscore the invaluable role that public servants play in safeguarding our communities and contributing to national development. Their sacrifice is a solemn reminder of courage. At this moment, Honorable Chairperson and members, I invite us all to stand up, pause and observe a moment of silence in honor of our fallen heroes, our brothers and sisters in uniform, and our civilians whose legacy of service will forever inspire us. Attention. Thank you. May their beautiful souls rest in love and peace, and may we be inspired by their commitment and dedication to the people of this region. Honorable Chairperson, allow me and fellow citizens of Hardap, the people of Hardap remains resilient and determined to contribute meaningfully to the broader national vision of prosperity and shared development. Guided by the theme of the 8th administration, under the capable leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, which states, unity and diversity, natural resource beneficiation, and youth empowerment for sustainable development. Therefore, the Hardap region remains committed to supporting national priorities, strengthening regional development, and improving the quality of the life of our communities. In July 2025, Namibia launched the 6th National Development Plan and the final National Development Framework designed to accelerate the attainment of our country's long-term aspirations as articulated in Vision 2030. The theme for the State of the Nation address is advancing towards the realization of Vision 2030, which coincide with the final National Development Plan. The Swabo Party Manifesto Implementation Plan contains 7 priority sectors, namely agriculture, sport, youth empowerment, quality education and training, creative industries, quality health and social welfare, land, housing and sanitation. I therefore call upon all politicians, civil servants, private sectors, administration, agencies to work towards achieving the desired outcomes of these priority sectors. Honorable Chairperson and citizens of Hardap, the population census of 2023 indicated Hardap has an unemployment rate of 32%. In addition, the census also reported that from a population of 3.1 million in Namibia, 71% represents the youth. The youth represents a powerful demographic dividend and a critical driver of economic growth. It is therefore critical to tap into the employability of the youth through skills development, vocational training, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable DM, on this note, allow me to report on activities, programs, and developments undertaken by the various offices, ministries, and agencies as aligned to the National Development Plan 6. Effective governance and public service delivery. The effective governance and public service delivery pillar is founded on the principles of transparency, accountability, efficiency, and citizen-centered service delivery. A key focus of this pillar is the strengthening of implementation, monitoring, and evaluation systems to ensure that government programs and interventions are executed effectively and achieve their intended developmental outcomes. In accordance with the National Decentralization Policy, 2 functions were delegated to the Regional Council. These include the Ministry of Health and Social Services, specifically primary health care, disease prevention, and the management of local health facilities and capital projects, as well as the Directorate of Agriculture Production, Extension and Engineering Services of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform. More recently, in May 2026, Youth and Sports Services were delegated, bringing the total number of functions entrusted to the Hardap Regional Council to 11. This expansion of delegated responsibilities reflects the growing role of the Council in driving service delivery and development at the regional level, in alignment with our national priorities. The implementation of the performance management systems reinforces the synergy by defining responsibilities, setting measurable performance targets, and strengthening accountability across the public sector. Through these agreements, civil servants and political office bearers are entrusted to deliver services effectively, ensuring that decentralized ministries operate in a coordinated and result-driven manner. This integrated approach not only enhances service delivery, but it also enhances our collective mission of socio-economic development in alignment with the National Development Plan 6. Honorable Chairperson, staff development remains a cornerstone of effective service delivery and institutional performance. This commitment is demonstrated by ongoing investment in formal qualifications by the Hardap Regional Council. Let's give them a hand of applause. Which is currently funding 13 staff members alongside professional training and capacity building initiatives. These efforts extend to public servants, educators, accountants, and local authority officials, ensuring that our workforce is equipped with the skills required to meet the demand of governance. Notably, 417 teachers have been trained across various fields for all grades, strengthening the quality of education and laying the foundation for a more knowledgeable and capable society. By prioritizing staff development, we reinforce institutional excellence and enhance our ability to deliver services that drive socio-economic progress. Communication serves as an important platform to improve access to services. Therefore, the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology has established a government institution center which is housed at the Hardap Regional Council. The center serves as a communication hub for public information dissemination, stakeholders engagement, and awareness creation. Social media platforms and community radio are used to broaden access to information and improve outreach. Through community outreach programs and the dissemination of information in local languages where necessary, the office continues to promote inclusivity, improve public awareness, and encourage citizen participation in government programs and developmental activities across the Hardap region. Let us give them applause, because information is very crucial, and these initiatives are just strengthening accountability and transparency. Honorable Chairperson and citizens of Hardap, allow me to report on the social activities under my office for the period under review. Honorable Chairperson and residents of Hardap region, the Office of the Governor has continued to prioritize targeted interventions. Therefore, 2 corrugated iron houses were constructed for elderly women in Gibeon, while humanitarian assistance included the distribution of 200 blankets and 200 food parcels to elderly persons in Rehoboth, alongside the mass feeding initiatives that reached over 300 vulnerable beneficiaries, and a similar pop-up kitchen program in Marintal provided meals to more than 300 residents in Takarania. This effort, supported by partners such as Chico, Chanispa Marintal, Tykman, Rehoboth Community Trust, and private individuals, were complemented by drought relief consignments secured from the Office of the Prime Minister. Additional support was extended to families in distress, including bereavement assistance of 12,000 and in-kind contributions. Furthermore, international cooperation was strengthened through a mission to Henan Province, People's Republic of China, which aimed at establishing a sister province relationship and deepening collaboration in infrastructure, agriculture, mining, and vocational training. The key outcomes includes Chico's annual internship and employment opportunities for Hardap youth, Henan Province vocational training placements, and regular institutional exchanges between training centers, all of which reinforced our commitment to community welfare and sustainable development. I think that needs an applause. Those engagements needs an applause, and we need to appreciate what the region, the capacity of the region, and what the region is doing. So, Honorable Chairperson and the citizens, allow me to report on the regional security, the rule of law sector under the Namibian Police. The Namibian Police in the Hardap region, comprising 13 stations and a regional headquarters in Marintal, recorded a 5.09% increase in crime, with a total of 4,374 cases reported. Rehoboth and Marintal accounted for the highest number of cases, respectively, while Durham and Sesrim reported the lowest. The rise in recorded cases is partly attributed to intensified police operations such as cleanup campaigns, roadblocks, and weekend enforcement operations. It should be noted that the key contributing factors of crime include alcohol and drug abuse, as well as unemployment-related poverty. Serious crimes included 26 murder cases and 34 major motor vehicle accidents, resulting in 28 fatalities, including the tragic accident on 30th of August 2025 that claimed the lives of our 16 security officers and 2 civilians. In order to address crime, the police conducted 56 gender-based violence awareness campaigns. Honorable Chairperson, community participation in the fight against crime cannot be overemphasized. Drug-related offenses decreased by 24.4%, with 205 cases recorded and 263 arrests made. Though female involvement increased significantly by 77%, and drugs worth over 1.8 million were confiscated. Stock theft remains a concern in the predominant livestock region. Although cases declined by 21.4%, a total of 134 large stock, 907 small stock were reported stolen, with partial recovery achieved and losses estimated at over 3.5 million. Copper wire theft also possesses a growing challenge, with 20 cases reported and damages exceeding 2.4 million, severely affecting communication, and essential services. Continuous joint border fence patrols with relevant stakeholders to strengthen regional and national security. Patrols conducted in collaboration with external stakeholders, including Immigration Department, the Office of the President, and MEFT, Nature Conservation. Honorable Chairperson, I am pleased to report that the Police Conduct Certificate and Motor Vehicle Clearance Office will be officially launched on the 10th of June 2026 at Aranos Police Station. I am reporting under the Namibian Correctional Services. The correctional facility, staffed by 260 officers, has a holding capacity of 778 male and 20 female inmates, with a current inmate population of 685. So ongoing improvements in the offender welfare and rehabilitation programs have contributed to enhance reintegration efforts and reduction in reoffending. A comprehensive range of rehabilitation interventions is offered to address offenders' behavioral and criminogenic needs. These initiatives aim to support behavioral transformation, reduce reoffending, and facilitate successful reintegration into society. Honorable Chairperson, I am pleased to report that 8 inmates successfully completed accredited educational and vocational programs, and they have graduated, while 68 inmates enroll for reintegration programs. 60 inmates successfully completed these programs, further strengthening their prospects for productive reintegration and social rehabilitation. I'm reporting under Immigration Control and Citizenship. The Department of Home Affairs and Immigration, through the Directorate of Immigration Control and Citizenship, processed 15 citizenship applications and 592 passport applications during the financial year under review, generating a total revenue of 273,500 for the state. In support of immigration law enforcement, the department conducted police patrols, investigations, clean-up operations across towns, villages, settlements, and surrounding commercial farms, resulting in the arrest and detention of 40 foreign nationals suspected of being illegal or prohibited immigrants. Of these, 1 individual was deported, 4 cases remain pending finalization, and 1 case was withdrawn due to insufficient evidence, yielding a prosecution success rate of 87.5%. In addition, 160 individuals who had served their sentences and those who were found to be illegally in Namibia were issued with 24-hour notice to depart the Republic of Namibia. Under the National Civil Registration, I'm reporting on birth registrations. During the period under review, timely birth registrations amounted to 1,590, late birth registrations amounted to 537, duplicate birth certificates amounted to 1,674, death registrations during the period under review. Death certificates issued amounted to 1,171, duplicate death certificates issued on request amounted to 278, and under marriages, the number of duplicate marriages certificates issued and marriages reinstated for the period under review. Duplicate marriage certificates issued amounted to 98, marriage reinstated amount to 5, identity document registrations. Under identity documents, registrations, New ID applications amounted to 2,130. Duplicate and sudden changes on IDs amounted to 3,068. ID cards collected amounted to 5,335. ID cards uncollected from previous years amounted to 1,572. And let me pause there. Therefore, there is an urgent call, and I have also listened to Honourable Deputy Minister, has also pleaded for the uncollected identity cards to be collected at the offices. We are therefore requesting the residents of Hardap region to please make sure to visit the relevant offices in the region and collect those uncollected identification cards. Under the expansion of services, an office for civil registration was opened at Marintal State Hospital to ensure timely registration and to provide information to expecting mothers. Let us give the Ministry of Home Affairs a round of applause. We have listened to the numbers and we have listened to the commitment that was made and the results in the SORA. Under the Department of Veteran Affairs, Veterans Benefit Statistics for the period under review, a total number of approved veterans amounted to 294. Total subvention and monthly recipients allowance amounted to 226. Total improvement grant recipients amounted to 44. Individual veterans projects was funded to the tune of 680,000. Total funeral assistance amounted to 38,500. Honourable Chairperson and citizens of our region, accord me the opportunity to report on the economic growth, transformation, and the resilience of Hardap region. Agriculture value chain, development programs within the National Horticulture Value Chain Program, 1.1 million was allocated and benefiting 76 farmers, 48 male and 28 female, with production inputs, material and equipment. The Poultry Value Chain Development Scheme received 360,000 and supported 49 farmers, 21 male and 28 female, with funds fully utilized within 40 days. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Lands, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, launched the Japan-funded resilience project titled Enhancing Resilience of Farming Communities Affected by Drought through the Promotion of Adaptive Agriculture. And that was launched in December 2025. The project aims to support 1,200 farmers. I'm repeating 1,200 farmers, particularly youth and women, with agro input packages, livestock, small-scale irrigation, water harvesting technologies, and the official symbolic handover ceremony will be held on the 11th of June, 3 days from now in Marintal. The small stock revolving scheme facilitated the redistribution of 13 rams and 240 ewes, with an additional allocation of 160 ewes and 8 rams planned for 26-27 to benefit 8 farmers. The Dairy Value Chain Development Scheme was allocated 1.4 million and it supported 11 farmers. Although the uptake was low due to high production costs, under the Namibian Agriculture Mechanization Seed and Improvement Program, a total of 136 hectares were plowed, benefiting 62 farmers with ripping, plowing, disking, cutting, raking and baling. A total of 1,187 farmers underwent trainings in different agricultural fields. Furthermore, under the Comprehensive Conservation Agriculture Program 2, 3 demonstration plots were established in Gibeon, New Haribes, Waganas, with an estimated investment of 190,000 scheduled for completion in the 26-27 financial year. A horticulture garden was set up at Nuwe Haribes, valued at 57,700 under the Cash for Work program of the Hardap Regional Council, and the Hardap Green Scheme under the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform produced maize on 13 hectares, totaling 1,040 tons, generating 1.5 million Namibian dollars. The Lucerne production, totaling 1,300 bales, sold at $80 per bale, Namibian dollars, generating 104,000 Namibian dollars monthly. In addition, institutional agriculture production systems contributed significantly to local economic activity. Honorable Chairperson, the Namibian Correctional Services piggery operation operate with a capacity of 1,300 pigs, produced approximately 1,280 piglets, and processed about 1,440 pigs annually for consumption and sale. Let us give a hand of applause. Over the period August 25 to March 26, this generated an estimated revenue of 3.6 million. The crop production unit covering 16 hectares under maize, lucerne and vegetables generated 721,690 Namibian dollars over the same period. The Gogas Village Council remains a cattle farming enterprise comprising of 66 head of cattle with an estimated value of 660,000 Namibian dollars. This livestock asset forms part of Council's effort to strengthen local economic activity and diversify its revenue base. Therefore, Council intends to scale up the herd to 100 breeding cattle and develop 5 hectares of land for further production. Under Kalkrand Village Council, they have implemented an urban agriculture project underway in Camp 15 with great expansion opportunities. Agriculture fields include poultry, horticulture, and fodder production. Micro, small, and medium enterprises and the informal sector upscaling. Therefore, the Hardap Regional Council, through its Directorate of Planning, Monitoring, and Evaluation, has entered into a strategic partnership with COSTEF to strengthen the capacity of local crafters across constituencies in product development and business management. This intervention forms part of the regional local economic development strategy, which seeks to promote inclusive economic growth by supporting micro, small, and medium enterprises. The Rehoboth economic profile has been successfully completed and compiled. This profile serves as a strategic planning tool to attract investment and strengthen local economic growth. The Directorate of Education provided training to adult learners and community members in practical entrepreneurship and developmental skills, including the production of dishwashing liquid, body wash, perfume, traditional soap, boer soap, pine gel, washing powder, fabric softener, and basic welding. These interventions are designed to support small-scale enterprise development. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare also supported 5 beneficiaries with income-generating activity tools and equipment valued at 80,000 Namibian dollars. New and former beneficiaries were trained in financial management. The Kalkrand and Gogas Village Council acquired custodianship of the business parks from NIDA, and this is an achievement that can potentially boost the socio-economic status of the villages respectively. Tourism and Gaming, Honourable Chairperson. Tourism plays a significant role as an economic enabler in Hardap region. After the devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the sector, there has been continued recovery and growth. A total revenue of 36.5 million was generated over the period under review. Foreign revenue increased from 171,000 in 24-25 financial year to 196,000 in 25-26. In the same vein, revenue generated from SADC countries rose from 19,700 to 21,760 during the same period. These funds are utilized to improve tourist roads, upgrade water provision points for wildlife in protected areas, and enhance visitor experiences in our national parks, thereby contributing further to the national economy. Webers Conservancy received a donation of goods and materials valued at 1.6 million from the Environmental Investment Fund of Namibia for conservancy projects, including 295 goats, 240 hens, backyard gardens, and hydroponic systems. While the goats were distributed among members and clusters, it is regrettable to report that some beneficiaries unfortunately sold some of the livestock. The community conservation journey in the Hardap region, currently supported by the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, together with Namibia Development Trust, is starting to realize some noticeable milestones. The Webers Conservancy is the first conservancy in southern Namibia to be allocated a trophy hunting concession for the 26-28 hunting season. Therefore, the Webers community deserves to be congratulated on this achievement as their years of conservation efforts are starting to pay off. Furthermore, Webers and Oscorp conservancies have also been awarded the Farm Success Concession to ensure that these communities derive tangible business and benefits from tourism activities. The concession can create jobs and generate income for the local community. The Hardap National Park Management Plan presents opportunities for new tourism developments that will benefit conservancies and local communities within the region. A total of 16 admission of guilt fines were issued to offenders for contravention of the Nature Conservation Ordinance Act No. 4 of 1975, which amounted to 28,600. In addition, wildlife utilization permits was issued, generated revenue of 71,120 Namibian dollars. As part of community support and conservation benefit sharing, 118 wildlife carcasses were donated from Hardap National Park to traditional authorities, vulnerable communities, and government offices across Hardap, Karas, and Omaheke regions during national commemorations and memorial events. Human-wildlife conflict remains a concern, with 35 livestock losses recorded. That's 21 sheep, 5 cattle, and 9 goats. And that happened primarily along the Namibian-Botswana border near the Kalahari Transfrontier Park. Affected farmers were engaged and informed on preventative measures and supported through the Self-Reliance Scheme under the Regional National Conservation and Human-Wildlife Conflict Management Framework. Infrastructure development. The Hardap Regional Council implemented several key development projects aimed at improving basic services and infrastructure across settlements. In Waganas, the silver oxidation ponds upgrade was completed at a cost of 4.8 million. Financial support was received from the Waganas Children's Development Trust Fund, and a complete installation of a water pump and pipeline on a borehole drilled by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform. Honourable Chairperson, with all these improvements, the water crisis still persisted. The Hardap Regional Council embarked on a capital project to construct an additional water reservoir and 2 boreholes valued at 3.3 million, and the project progress stands now at 36%. The Road Fund Administration allocated 1.1 million to rehabilitate roads in Waganas. Phase 1 is complete and Phase 2 is envisaged for 27-28 fiscal year. In Kleinhoop Settlement, a 255 cubic meter elevated water reservoir and a 6 by 5 by 3 groundwater storage tank is currently at 15% progress, and 6.1 million has been allocated. In addition, the formalization of Sonderwater settlement is at 20% completion. Available land remains the top priority for the regional leadership, and the acquisition of land for development purposes is a continuous process. An allocation of 1.7 will be used for interlocking in Kleinhoop and in SLIP consultancy services for infrastructure development, and settlement formalizations are progressing well at 43% with a budget allocated of 2.8 million. Honourable Chairperson and residents of SLIP, the availability of sufficient quantities and quality of water remains a challenge. Therefore, the Hardap Regional Council commenced with bulk water infrastructure Phase 1, which is at 11% completion and is valued at 9 million. New Haribes, construction of new boundary fencing and repairing of existing boundary of Units C and D is extended at ±2 kilometers, and the rehabilitation of 1 kilometer of fencing at Units C and D was completed at an amount of 76,900 Namibian dollars. Construction, electricity and connection of the houses to the main line have been completed by the contractors, and construction and connection fees have been allocated to the following places: Sonderwater in Kleinhoop, Korokorobes, Falconos in Gibeon, benefiting 119 households in total. It is envisaged that electrification of Chris and Amberbo will be finalized in the 2026-27 fiscal year. The national energy access rate currently stands at 59%, and government intends to increase it to 70%. The Ministry of Mines, Industry and Energy has made available 12 million through SORA. Contractors are on site in Rehoboth and Mariental with 370 households to be electrified by July 2026. Allow me at this juncture to announce the 10 million budgetary provision to SORA to electrify more than 800 households with free of charge prepaid boxes. The Directorate of Education implemented a number of infrastructure development projects aimed at improving access to quality education and enhancing conducive learning environments across the region, valued at 14.8 million Namibian dollars. The first project comprised the construction of ablution facilities, a block of 4 classrooms and 4 storerooms, 3 additional classroom blocks, a science laboratory, and a computer laboratory. Library and an administration block at Northside Primary School in the Rehoboth Urban West constituency, and in addition, an early childhood development center was constructed. At Anne Secondary School, an administration block, a 3 classroom block, science laboratory, computer laboratory, and a library were also constructed. Phase 2 will continue in the 2026-27 financial year. In Kleinop and Nabasep, the Directorate of Education constructed 2 pre-primary classrooms, 4 toilets, and 4 storerooms at each school. Similarly, in the Marintal Urban Constituency, 2 pre-primary classrooms, 4 toilets, and 3 storerooms were constructed at Sono Primary School. Further infrastructural development was undertaken in the Arnos constituency, where 2 pre-primary classrooms, 4 toilets, and 2 classrooms were constructed at Arnos Primary School. At JR Camp Primary School, the project included the construction of 2 pre-primary classrooms, 4 toilets, 2 rooms, a block of 4 classrooms, and 4 storerooms, and an additional block of 2 classrooms and 2 storerooms. Let's give the Ministry of Education an applause. These were done to support technical and vocational education and training. The renovation works valued at 1 million were undertaken for the replacement and upgrade of infrastructure at the Rehoboth and Marintal training and resource centers. Under the development budget, a total of 10 emergency infrastructure interventions were undertaken, valued at 2.5 million Namibian dollars, to address critical maintenance needs at educational institutions and hostels across the region. These interventions include the revamping and replacement of a worn-out cooling and freezer room facilities at several hostels. In addition, a 3-bedroom staff house in Marintal was renovated, while sewerage pumps at Dr. Lemmer Hostel were replaced to ensure the continued functionality of essential services. The Ministry of Environment and Tourism completed the renovation of 3 staff houses in the Hardap National Park, amounting to 1.4 million, funded by the NAMPARKS V project. In addition, construction of 2 park gates and environmental toilets valued at 7.1 million under the same funders was completed. Under the Namibian Police, the construction of prefabricated accommodation for the police security personnel to our Vice President was completed in Gibeon at a total cost of 2.6 million. The National Correctional Services currently has 4 construction projects, a workshop, agriculture storage facility, poultry farm, and the construction of a church building. The workshop is at 90% completion rate. The steel structure for the agriculture store has been successfully erected. The construction of the church for a private customer is ongoing. Honorable Chairperson and citizens of Hardap, allow me to report on the infrastructural development in local authorities under Marintal Municipality. Capital projects, informal settlement upgrading. Marintal Municipality received an amount of 75 million for the informal settlement upgrading. That is the provision of basic services like water, sewerage, roads and electricity, and in the following 4 extensions was set aside for informal settlements. Amablagte Extension 2 and 3, Empelheim Extension 4 and 5, totaling 1,387 plots, of which 1,108 were serviced under Phase 1, and the remaining 279 plots to be serviced under Phase 2. The project commenced in September 2025 and is due for completion by December 2026. Progress to date under Phase 1, 883 plots were serviced with water and sewerage reticulation, including a new sewerage pump station and a water booster pump. To date, an amount of 19 million was used to provide water and sewerage reticulations, electrification, an amount of 42 million was set aside for the electrification of plots, and to date, 975 plots were fully electrified. Let's give Marintal Municipality an applause. These are the services that our customers and our residents of this region always talked about: water, plots, and electricity. Marintal Municipality also received 1.5 million from the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy to electrify 100 households in the informal settlements. The project will be completed by July 2026. Sanitation center in the informal settlements, Marintal Municipality through GIZ received 2.2 million to construct a sanitation center in the informal settlement to provide early childhood education to children living in the informal settlements. The center also has ablution facilities, shaded area for community meetings and economic activities, and a small multi-purpose pitch for sport and recreation activities. The center is due for completion by 30th of August 2026. I'm reporting under Rehoboth Town Council. Key municipal upgrades include the Rio Spa, revamping of Phase 2 with a total allocation of 3.2 million and stands at 95% completion, plus additional funding of 1.3 million for the swimming pool pump and 500,000 for bungalow furniture. The Block H Extension 2 water network project is also near completion at 95%, valued at 1.3 million. To enhance revenue collection and service efficiency, central government allocated 36 million for the procurement and installation of 5,200 split-type electricity meters, with implementation commencing in May 2026. In addition, 6,000 prepaid water meters were procured at a cost of 33 million, with 4,400 installed, approximately 70% completion, to improve the payment compliance and reducing the debts. High mast lightning project valued at 2.1 million is underway to improve safety. Additional development includes a 4 megawatt energy project under Alensi Pty Limited with ministerial approval, and a 12-hectare retail and truck port development with Agra Limited, supported by 2.5 million Namibian dollar deposit and nearing land transfer finalization. Nazunga Property Developers is also supporting service plots and housing delivery pending agreement signing. The GIZ project is upgrading informal settlements, creating approximately 1,000 erven for low-income residents, with beneficiary allocation underway. The Norman Beekers development in Block D Extension 2 includes 66 erven and has received ministerial approval with land transfer in progress. Therefore, give Rehoboth Town Council an applause. We talked about land, we talked about housing, we talked about service delivery. Worship the mayors of the towns. Thank you, honorable members, for your proactive approach. The multi-purpose sanitation center funded by GIZ is also completed at a cost of 1.9 million. I'm reporting under Aranos Town Council. A new sewer gravity line valued at 8.8 million commenced on the 5th of February and is currently at 40% completion rate. Expected to benefit 186 households with future capacity for an additional 500 households. The replacement of asbestos pipes with PVC pipes, alongside the construction of new water reticulation networks in Rooidein, Sonara, Safari, and Aranos, is valued at 8.4 million, targeting 386 beneficiaries and currently at 30% completion. Energy infrastructure improvements include the construction of a power substation valued at 2.4 million, which is 99% complete and expected to be finalized by June 2026. Additional infrastructure includes roads construction in Extension 5, valued at 2.4 million and currently 60% complete, with completion expected in June 2026. Prepaid water and electricity meters were procured to the tune of 9 million, with installation at 25%. Aranos, well done. Gibeon Village Council, a gravity sewer reticulation project valued at 9.4 million, is approximately 85% complete and will benefit 107 households and 3 institutions, 110 Erwin. In addition, 36 septic tanks were installed as an interim sanitation solution, and a sewer truck was procured for 1.6 million to improve responses to spillages and maintenance services. Water infrastructure development is supported by African Development Bank grant funding of 31,400,000, worth 163,875. My apologies. Allocated to consultancy services for a water master plan and related technical difficulties, and 149,000 reserved for water reticulation materials in collaboration with NemWater. Road infrastructure development under the Road Fund Administration includes Phase 1 at a cost of 767,000 and Phase 2 at 780,000, with approximately 320 meters completed, while Phase 3 is planned for 26-27 financial year. Electrical infrastructure support from Debmarine Namibia, valued at 200,000, includes electrification of 14 houses at a cost of 66,000 and ongoing installation of ABC lines and street lights in the Sunrise informal settlement at a cost of 133,900. I'm seeing it currently stands at 90% completion, but I can confidently say it is completed and the commencement will be done this coming Friday. The switching on of the lights of Sunrise community, they will have electricity because the project has been completed. Under Stumbreed Village Council, the council constructed oxidation ponds valued at 22.4 million and development of Category C landfill site valued at 13.5 million, funded by the National Planning Commission. The upgrading and improvement of internal roads within Stumbreed Village to enhance road infrastructure and accessibility. The contractor has established the site and construction works are progressing well. Approximately 70% of the project has been completed with a budget allocation of 1.1 million. The procurement of a tractor loader backhoe was intended to strengthen the council's operational capacity for infrastructure maintenance and service delivery. And the actual expenditure of 1.7 million was used to procure the tractor loader. So Stumbreed Village Council allocated an unserviced lands to a private developer at an amount of 350,000 for a commercial development along the C20 road. The private developer has commenced with construction activities, and current construction progress includes Woermann Brock development, 95% completed, an Agra development project valued at 30 million and stands at 55% progress. Thank you. That's development. A multi-year village council, the construction of water reticulation services in Blikkiesdorp, valued at 30 million, is currently 35% completed, while the construction of sewer reticulation services, valued at 20 million, has reached 30% completion. Both projects are progressing steadily and are expected to be completed by October 2026. Phase 1 under the RFA, the upgrading of gravel to interlock standard with a coverage of 200 meters was completed at a value of 976,000. Phase 2 commenced in January 2026 with an approximate coverage of 620 meters valued at 2.9 million. Gogas Village Council, the construction of sewer ponds in Komgap Naus is currently ongoing. An amount of 1.5 million was allocated for phase 1, which was utilized for the procurement of lining material for the sewerage ponds. An allocation 4.7 million is budgeted for phase 2 to continue during 2026-27 financial year. Kalgrand Village Council, the general plan for extension 1 was formally registered in the name of the Kalgrand Village Council. This is a remarkable achievement since its inception in 2008. Extension 1 residents are encouraged to apply for title deeds, and the construction of 105-meter interlocking road was completed in December 2025 and is valued at 927,000. Phase 1 for the design of the council office is complete and it is valued at 2.5 million. Let us give our local authorities a hand of applause, all of them. This is really remarkable achievements, and we can only do better. Honorable Chairperson and members of the public at large, may I take you through some of the various activities undertaken under human development and community resilience. Primary and secondary education, lifelong learning, it is with profound pride, Honorable Chairperson and citizens of this great Hardap region, that I report that the region stood out with the AS level grade 12 results, ranking second in the national from 12th place in 2025, an overall 10% massive improvement. This is indeed a great achievement for the Hardap region as a whole. For the NSSCO grade 11 performance, unfortunately declined one position from 13th nationally to 14th. Although the decline, there was a 25.7% increase in candidates qualifying as compared to the 13.7% in 2024. In total, 1,147 candidates enrolled for the NSSCO and 295 qualified. The region has a total of 6 schools offering the AS level as compared to the 7 reported last year. Dr. Lemmer High School tops the list with 46.6% compared to 32.9% achievement rate recorded last year. The Ministry of Education enrolled 31,569 in 26 compared to 30,166 in 25, a significant increase of 1,403 learners. The ratio between male and female learners stands as 49.7% and 50.3% respectively. All grades from grade 1 to 12 indicated an increase in enrollment, except in grades 10 and 11, where there was a decline recorded, with the highest decline reported in grade 11 from 2,000 824 in 25 to 1,358 in 2026. That's a difference of 1,466. This was attributed by dropouts and high failure rates. The region has a total of 1,192 teachers, of which female dominance of 75.1% stood out. In the early childhood development sector, the region has 80 centers, of which 61 receive government subsidies. A total of 1,183 children, 527 male and 656 females are enrolled, supported by 182 educators, of whom 106 receive monthly stipends ranging between 1,700 and 3,000 Namibian dollars. Under the capacity building, including training of 19 educators on the ECD curriculum and 52 on financial literacy. All centers benefit from the school feeding program, receiving instant porridge with additional support, including 70 ECD kits, benefiting 2,797 children. A total of 2,700 bags of porridge and basic feeding equipment were distributed to 7 centers from the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture. Technical and vocational training and skills development. Honorable Chairperson, key developments include the establishment of a Joanna Jacobs VTC in Gibeon and the opening of AIMS in Stambreed, both of which benefiting from the Youth for Green Hydrogen Scholarship Program with a combined intake of 48 students. 13 enrolled at JJVTC and 35 at AIMS, and commenced training in October 2025. Further advancement is reflected in the launch of the Roots Namibia project, which has initiated an agriculture training institute in Stambreed. The Office of the Governor has formally supported its accreditation process with the Namibian Training Authority, Namibian Qualifications Authority, and the relevant regulatory bodies. Plans are also underway to upgrade Kaikanagap Skills Training Center, and we know it will become a fully fledged accredited vocational institution to expand access to technical skills development. In Rehoboth, Lingua officially opens its doors, further creating tertiary education opportunities within Hardap region. Sports development, under sports development, I'm reporting. When driving through the region, you are guaranteed to see an informal soccer field in both urban and rural areas. So most sport talents starts on the dusty fields with makeshift sports facilities. Often these talents fell through the cracks as the commercialization of sports is disadvantaged, among others, by a lack of standard sports facilities and products. Therefore, an amount of 10 million was allocated through the Office of the Governor for basic sport facility development in Aranos and in Rehoboth Urban East constituency. It was allocated 5 million respectively, but I can say that 5 million has been increased to 7.5 million respectively. The groundbreaking for these facilities was conducted in March 2026, and the construction is expected to commence soon. I need to inform the public here that we have a delay, and I must apologize as the governor of the region for that delay. We are in the stage of the bill of quantities, finalizing the bill of quantities, which will be very soon. Those technical delays has unfortunately halted the project because we need to build proper sports fields up to standards that we can deliver quality for generations to come. So therefore, my respected residents, commencements will start very soon. The expected completion date, I can guarantee, will be November 2026, and it currently stands at 5%, the construction of the basic sports facilities. The Hardap Regional Council, through the Cash for Work program, has fenced the sports fields in Goros. In addition, the Office of the Governor under the Cash for Work program funded deep bushing and establishment of a sports field in Chris settlement involving 50 unemployed youth at a cost of 21,600. The G2G program, co-opted from the previous USAID, supported program trained 22 youth members in grassroots sports development in Slip. Youth development, the Kaikanagap Skills Training Center has registered a total of 147 students across various training fields, including bricklaying and plastering, carpentry and joinery, computer and office administration, hospitality and tourism, plumbing and pipe fitting, welding and metal fabrication, and tailoring and fashion design. Notably, traditionally male-dominated trades, such as bricklaying and plastering, plumbing and pipe fitting, and welding and metal fabrication, are now predominantly pursued by female students. Conversely, programs such as fashion design and office administration have attracted a higher number of male students, reflecting a positive shift in gender participation across different vocational fields. A total of 63 trainees, 160 out nationally were recruited during 2025-2026. Hardap region recorded under the highest number. Under the 121 constituency youth enterprises program of HPPI, the Gibeon Youth Enterprise is fully operational, while the Rehoboth Urban East Youth Enterprise received funding amounting to 300,000 to establish an internet cafe. Through the Namibian Youth Credit Scheme, 75 youth were trained at Kaikanagap Skills Training Center and awaiting their loan allocations for the 25-26 financial year. The Rehoboth Youth Corporation has been formally registered with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform. In addition, the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture facilitated the submission of loan applications to enable the cooperative to benefit from the Youth Cooperatives Funding Program. Therefore, 15 youth received training in charcoal production as part of efforts to enhance income-generating opportunities and entrepreneurship. The ministry also facilitated youth recruitment and intake process for the National Youth Services, the Namibian Police Force, and the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs. In addition, under the division youth, under the division lens, youth participation was strengthened through the National Youth Service, which recruited 35 youth to provide caretaking and safeguarding services on resettlement farms. Hardap Regional Council created short-term employment cash for work through the construction of sanitation facilities, slip cleaning and debushing, garden sports field fencing, totaling 55 community members and youth valued at 269,000. The Office of the Governor, under its Cash for Work program, implemented a range of community development and employment creation initiatives benefiting 270 youth and unemployed persons in the region. This included water infrastructure extensions in Sunrise Informal Settlement in Gibeon, urban cleanup campaigns in Rehoboth, benefiting 150 youth in Rehoboth Urban East and 50 youth in Rehoboth Urban West, debushing and environmental rehabilitation in Chumas Park, where 50 youth has been empowered, and cemetery cleaning and fencing in multi-year, where 20 youth was empowered. Additional interventions including the restoration of water supply in Camp 4 through the installation of a water pump, benefiting the entire community of Camp 4. Furthermore, projects under the Office of the Governor include the construction of 4 corrugated iron houses for disaster victims in Marintal, fencing valued at 50,000 for the Karquin Community Garden, creating temporary employment for 50 casual workers with a payout of 21,600. In Kalgrant, 100 youth were employed through clean-up operations, complemented by a further 50 youth employed by the Village Council, with a combined payout of 43,200. In addition, 120 youth were provided with casual opportunities, employment opportunities during the 36 independence celebrations through the Office of the Governor. A total amount of 93,000 was paid to the beneficiaries for their services, and that's where the youth has been empowered. Overall, the Office of the Governor has distributed 500,000 under the Cash for Work program across various projects and initiatives aimed at creating temporary employment opportunities and supporting local communities. I really want to thank the staff of the Office of the Governor. They have been working very, very hard in these projects. So give them another round of applause, please. The SME Park, designed to support youth entrepreneurship and economic participation and overall youth development interventions in Gibeon, contributed to approximately 50 youth employed under various projects. The Rehoboth Town Council is advancing a strategic youth empowerment agenda through the establishment of Rio Youth Connected Festival 2026. Under the mayoral initiative, Let's Talk and Connect, and it's themed Connect, Create and Growth, and the Mayoral Youth Development Fund. So these integrated platforms aims to link young people with critical socio-economic opportunities, entrepreneurship, youth-led initiative projects, and SME support. The Gibeon Village Council-led initiatives further supported youth employment through infrastructure and community projects, including sewer reticulation, where 10 youth has been employed, interlock road construction, 12 youth, and 2 elderly persons. The electrification projects, 3 youth were selected, and under the Build Together housing programs, 7 local builders were selected, creating both short-term and rotational employment opportunities. A temporary refuse removal initiative also engaged 6 youth, 3 male and 3 female on a rotational basis. Honorable Chairperson, allow me to report on the National Youth Development Fund from September 2025 to April 26, based on statistics provided by the project manager. But before that, can we give a hand of applause to those youth-led initiatives that has been created in the region. Furthermore, the applications received were 32 applications to Agribank, 225 applications to Development Bank of Namibia, and 40 to Environmental Investment Fund, totaling 297 applications from Hardap region. The projects approved are 3 through Agribank, with a total disbursement of 162,000, 7 by Development Bank of Namibia, with a total disbursement of 1.4 million, and 4 by the EIF, with a disbursement of 250,000, totaling 40 approvals for the region. This total stands at 1,847,000. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Councillors, starting this week, the Office of the Governor, with the support of the Governor's Youth Desk, will embark on an awareness campaign across the constituencies to promote the National Youth Development Fund. This campaign aims to provide information on the fund and assist interested youth, people with the completion of the application forms. I therefore call upon all youth in the region to take advantage of this opportunity so that we can maximize the benefits of this important initiative and ensure greater participation and empowerment of our young people. So the Office of the Governor will be in all 8 constituencies, going around, helping the young people together with the leadership, the regional leadership in its constituency and local authority levels, that we sit together, we empower our young people, we fill in the forms for them, and we help them with the necessary information to equip them more to be successful in the national youth development applications. Sustainable social protection and community empowerment, I'm reporting during the period, the number of children on the grant system stood at 11,252, and the total amount of 3.9 million is paid on a monthly basis to the beneficiaries, while 3,154 people are on the old age grants, and total amount of 5 million is paid to the elderly on a monthly basis. Meanwhile, 2,709 people are receiving the disability grants at an amount of 4.3 million per month. 1,664 people are receiving the conditional basic income grant at an amount of 600, valued at 998,000 per month. Beneficiaries of the old age and disability grants are accorded dignified burials at a cost of 4,500. A total of 366 funeral claims were processed for old age beneficiaries amounting to 1.6 million Namibian dollars. Equally, 50 disability beneficiaries at a cost of 225,000 were assisted under the same period. Therefore, a total of 23,000 beneficiaries have been registered and are receiving social grants during the period under review. Under gender equality and development, the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Function promotes inclusive development by advancing gender equality and empowerment of women, men, youth, persons with disabilities, and other vulnerable groups through advocacy, awareness, and community outreach. Key programs that are implemented includes the trafficking in persons awareness, gender-based violence campaigns, constituency gender task force meetings, the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and the International Women's Day commemorations. A baking competition sponsored by Namib Mills with an amount of 5,000 was organized by Women in Business associations. In Rehoboth, a male participant won the competition. Child protection and child protection services. Child protection services are strengthened through the Marintal and Goga safe houses, which provides temporary care up to 21 days for victims of gender-based violence. Trafficking and vulnerable children, and additional efforts focus on reintegrating children living and working on the streets back into schools and ensuring access to appropriate care and protection services. These are the services undertaken to protect our citizenry and our children and vulnerable members of society. Under the disability mainstreaming and integration of indigenous minorities, the Hardap Regional Council Disability Networking Forum conducted awareness and community engagement activities, reaching 602 participants, focusing on issues affecting persons living with disabilities, including concerns related to misuse of social grants. Through the individual support program, 109 clients living with severe disabilities receive assistance, such as nappies and milk, with 78 beneficiaries supported during the reporting period. In addition, awareness initiatives were conducted at Amablach, the primary school, including a march and an early Christmas event to promote inclusion and highlight the availability of resource classrooms for learners with intellectual disabilities. These activities were implemented in collaboration with the National Association of the Deaf and the Disability Affairs Office, aimed at strengthening community awareness and promote inclusive education. Water and sanitation, a total of 581 water points were maintained in the region, of which 39 water points have saline water, which is not suitable for human consumption and therefore supplied by water tankers until permanent solutions are found by developing alternative water resources. A total of 9 boreholes were drilled, in which 8 were successful. Swartdam, Kalkoonpost, and resettlement farms, Nieuwbeproving, Kamkas Unit A, Kamkas Unit B, Halifax Unit F, Chamchavip Unit D, Volksgrond Group Resettlement at a value of 3.4 million Namibian dollars. A total of 3 boreholes were installed at Swartdam in Gibeon constituency, Kalkoonpost in Davep constituency, and the resettlement farm Nieuwbeproving in Aranos constituency to the tune of 3 million. While other 3 boreholes were rehabilitated on resettlement farms, upgrading of 2 water points by the in-house team of Waganas Post and Marintal Rural Constituency at Kwamus Post in Gibeon constituency to the tune of 110,000 Namibian dollars. The in-house team at Amalia in Gibeon modernizes 1 traditional well. In addition, 3 boreholes were cleaned at Ventershoop, Lemoen Post in Gibeon constituency, and the resettlement farm Panorama in Marintal Rural constituency. A total of 131 deliveries were made in the Salt Block area. An additional 14 deliveries were made under emergency water supply to the line ministries at a tune of 193,000. Existing small pipelines were extended with 500 meters at Aqua in Gibeon constituency to improve access to safe drinking water, valued at 15,000. A total of 7 windmills were successfully replaced with solar pumps in Gibeon and Marintal Rural constituency by the local NGO Common Waters. A total of 373 repairs were undertaken on engines, windmills, solar installations, and pipelines, including preventative maintenance during the period under review, valued at 873,000. The Hardap Regional Council Rural Services constructed 84 ventilated improved pit latrines at a tune of 1.4 million in Rehoboth Rural, Rehoboth Urban East, and Gibeon constituencies. Sanitation awareness activities were conducted in 9 villages, including Kohera Post, Kohera Home, Deutsche Erde Home and Post, Hollandia, Kabihuis South and North, and Agterfontein Post 1 and 2, with an expenditure of 12,000 500 Namibian dollars. These interventions focused on eliminating open defecation and strengthening community sanitation practices. Water and sanitation communities were also activated through the selection of members to ensure local water governance and sustainability. A total of 5 water associations were established under the community-based management rural water supply program. The region has a total of 41 water points committees. Under human settlement, the region faces serious challenges with housing provision and sufficient service plots. However, the region has made progress in housing delivery as reported below. The following houses were constructed under the decentralized Build Together program. In Wagana settlement, a total of 8 two-bedroom houses are currently under construction and have reached 62% completion, with a budget allocation of 560,000. In Rehoboth, a total of 73 houses are being constructed, with a budget allocation of 820,000. In Chris settlement, the construction of 13 houses has not commenced. However, efforts around the clock are in place to ensure the completion in the current financial year. In Kleinhoop settlement, 7 houses are under construction and has reached 57% completion with a budget allocation of 560,000. In Gibeon, phase 1 of the construction of 13 houses was built at a cost of 1 million. A brick-making machine was also procured to an amount of 244,000 to support housing construction and cost reduction. Kalgrand Village Council constructed 16 low-income houses valued at 1.5 million, completed and occupied by beneficiaries in November 2025. A budget allocation of 1.3 million has been made available by the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development to construct and upgrade 21 houses through the Build Together program. In Aranos, housing development projects include Build Together houses in Extension 5, valued at 3.5 million, at 90% completion and benefiting 27 households, as well as the Shek Dwellers Federation housing in Extension 6, valued at 1.2 million, which is fully completed and benefiting 20 households. In Rehoboth, joint ventures and development partnerships, large-scale land servicing and housing projects are being implemented. This includes 2,200 plots in Block H, Extension 3 to 6, Block E, Extension 8, Roy Dana, benefiting approximately 6,000 people pending the proclamation, and the servicing of 220 Erwin in Block E, Extension 9 and 10. Water services is completed. Block F, Extension 3 to 8, benefiting 1,597 households, approximately 4,763 people are also pending proclamation. Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, housing is a fundamental human need and a cornerstone of a thriving society. Let us work hard to bring dignity to our communities. Let our local authorities release land to build houses to restore the dignity of our people. Under Health for All, 100% of clients who tested HIV positive were put on treatment. The viral load suppression was recorded at 92%. TB treatment success rate was 87% for new and relapse cases, a 3% decrease compared to the previous reporting period, where the region recorded 90%. This calls for renewed efforts in ensuring that our people diagnosed with TB adhere to their treatment. The region recorded a 71.4% treatment success rate among clients with drug-resistant TB, with a 7.1% death rate for clients on treatment. It must be stated that around 14.3% of clients with drug-resistant TB has died before starting treatment, and this remains a source of concern. The ministry therefore aims to strengthen its community-based health service delivery in an effort to facilitate early detection and prompt treatment. The pharmaceutical division managed to maintain the availability of selected key items at about 68.5%, while maintaining overall availability of general pharmaceuticals for the region at about 92%, following the receipt of the emergency procurement budget of about 9 million Namibian dollars. The division achieved a regional pharmaceutical budget expenditure of 82% of the central medical stores allocated budget. However, these achievements have come with major challenges, which has resulted in the region having a wastage rate of 4%, which is above the acceptable 2% wastage rate. This is an increase of 1.5% from the previous years. Wastage rate and stronger accountability measures will be implemented to reverse this wastage trend. Measles and rubella coverage stands at 68%. This is a 10% less than what was recorded during the 25-26 reporting period. This is a source of concern. So I'd like to plead with all the mothers to bring their children for vaccination to the health centers. Under the provision of medical equipment, I'm reporting, Honourable Chair, that St. Mary's Hospital has been equipped with a state-of-the-art X-ray machine during the year under review. The region received 3 new ambulances during the year under review, 1 per district. Honourable Chairperson, members and the public, allow me to proceed with my reporting on environmental sustainability, land usage planning, and security of tenure under lands. 8 farms were acquired for resettlement purposes in the Hardap region. However, no beneficiaries were resettled on the farms during the period under review. Under security of tenure, a total of 92 communal land rights were registered for farmers in communal areas. Flexible land tenure project was subsidized by the Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Land Reform to provide 308 portions of land to low-income groups in the community of the Kochas Village Council. A total amount of 287,000 was collected in lease fees from resettlement beneficiaries, and 4,811 was collected from communal leaseholds. I must support the youth of this region. We have to make sure that on agriculture, we acquired a farm, land for the youth, so that they can engage in agriculture activities and empower themselves. This must happen. Under the Fisheries, Aquatic Resource Management and Aquatic Development, the Hardap Aquaculture Center located at the Hardap Dam plays a key role in advancing government efforts towards food security and household level self-sufficiency through the development of small-scale aquaculture. The center supports sector growth by conducting site assessments, supplying fingerlings, providing fish feed, delivering training, and offering technical extension services to emerging fish farmers. During the period under review, the center produced and distributed 150,000 fingerlings to small-scale farmers and for stocking purposes at the facility. A total of 35 farmers benefited from ongoing aquaculture extension services, including access to fingerlings, feed and technical support. In addition, 20 farmers received targeted capacity building training under the South-South Cooperation Partnership, strengthening skills and knowledge transfer within the sector. Under industries, mines and energy during the period under review, the ministry assisted 25 MSMEs under Equipment Aid Scheme, an industrial upgrading modernization program to a total value of 2 million Namibian dollars. Therefore, over 600 MSMEs were provided with business support services, programs which includes training, business registration, SME certification, and mentoring services. The ministry also trained 2 students from Hardap region on gemstone cutting and polishing training in Karibab. Under the disaster risk management, as Governor, I have appointed the members of the Regional Disaster Risk Management Committee and formally issued the letters of appointment. Similarly, regional and local authority councillors have established an appointed constituency and local authority disaster risk management committees to strengthen disaster preparedness and response structures at all levels. Furthermore, a Hardap multi-sectoral disaster risk management workshop was successfully conducted and convened, bringing together key stakeholders to enhance coordination and planning. As a result of this engagement, the Hardap multi-sectoral disaster risk management plan has been developed and is currently in draft form from pending finalization and adoption by the Regional Council. Leadership of Hardap region. Our region is prone to recurrent droughts, sporadic rainfall, wildfires, floods, and diseases outbreaks. It is therefore important that all local authorities and OMAs draft contingency plans to mitigate disasters in a proactive manner as compared to a reactive response that could cost lives. The private sector is also hereby called upon to support the contingency initiatives. Honorable Chairperson and leadership, citizens of Hardap region, on traditional authorities, a significant milestone was recently achieved in our region with the formal recognition of the Buster Captain by the Government of the Republic of Namibia. The Rehoboth Buster Gemeente Traditional Authority subsequently sworn in Captain Herbert George Brits as their captain, marking an important step in strengthening traditional leadership and preserving the cultural heritage of the community. We sincerely thank the President of the Republic of Namibia, our President, for our visionary leadership, and the Government of Namibia's 8th administration for recognizing of the Rehoboth Buster Captaincy. This acknowledgement honors an important part of our heritage, leadership, and cultural identity. We deeply appreciate this gesture and look forward to continued unity, respect, and cooperation for the benefit of all Namibians across Namibia. Honorable Chairperson, while we celebrate this achievement in the region, it is concerning that several traditional authorities within our region remain without substantive chiefs. This situation is worrisome, as effective traditional leaderships plays a vital role in promoting social cohesion, cultural preservation, community development, and the resolution of local challenges. The growth and progress of traditional communities cannot be fully realized in the absence of duly recognized leaders who provide guidance, represent their communities, and drive the development initiatives of their communities. It is therefore imperative that processes aimed at filling these leadership vacuums be expedited to ensure that all traditional communities are afforded the leadership necessary for their continued development and prosperity. And I must say, on this note, I was witness where our Honourable Minister of Urban and Rural Development has publicly stated that by the end of this year, his plan is that all traditional authorities in Hardap region in Namibia must have recognized traditional leaders present. We applaud our Honourable Minister for this initiative and this intervention, which is so critical for the betterment of our communities at grassroots level. While concluding, Honourable Chairperson, Honourable leaders, as a region, we have made meaningful contributions to the implementation of our Namibian Development Plan 6 and the SWAPO Manifesto Implementation Plan through strengthening governance, expanded youth empowerment initiatives, improved social welfare, and investments in agriculture, education, and infrastructure. This achievement demonstrates our collective resilience and commitment to national priorities, and we should rightly applaud ourselves for the progress made. We must also acknowledge that challenges remain, and there is room for improvement in ensuring equitable development and sustainable growth. Therefore, Honourable Chairperson, Honourable leadership of this region, public servants of Hardap region, I have to emphasize and cement the following. As leaders and public servants, entrusted with the responsibility of serving the people of Hardap region, we must continuously reflect on whether our actions, priorities, and commitments are aligned with the expectations and needs of our community. The people of Hardap have placed their trust in us to lead, to coordinate, and to advance the development agenda of this region. This responsibility requires deliberate commitment. It requires visible leadership. And I've said it and I will repeat it, that the development of Hardap region cannot be achieved through policies and plans alone. It requires visible leadership. It requires commitment and active participation from all of us. The community we served expect us to be present. They expect us to be accessible. They expect us to engage in matters that affect their daily lives and their future prosperity. I therefore call upon all leaders, including myself, within the Hardap region to recommit themselves to the principle that regional interest must be given prominence and the priority they deserve. Let us ensure that our actions demonstrate our commitment to the people who we are entrusted us with the responsibility to serve them. I further urge all political leadership represented in the different various councils to support and reinforce this principle across all institutions operating within the region. Together, let us place Hardap first. Let us place our residents first. and ensure the development aspirations of our people remain our primary focus at all times. I am very pleased, and I must say that this region is a region of excellence. The capacity, the quality, honorable leaders, directors, heads of OMAs, local authorities, traditional authorities, businessmen and women. This region, I am so proud of you all. Give yourselves a hand of applause. I am so proud of the team that put the SORA together. Local authorities, regional council from all levels, under the custodianship of the Office of the Governor. Please give the team that has prepared the SORA in such an awesome and excellent way a big round of applause. Let us recommit ourselves to unity, to transparency and innovation, so that Hardap continues to rise as a region of opportunity, excellence, and resilience. Together we can transform challenges into achievements and build a future of dignity and prosperity for all. I appreciate you. I thank you, my people of Hardap region. God bless the Hardap region. God bless the Republic of Namibia. Let us work together. Let us pray together. And let us stay focused and united together. Because a people united, striving to achieve the common good of all members of society, will always emerge victorious. I thank you.
Can we add once more the applause? Can we make noise for the governor? I thank you. Maybe.
Hello, my name is Elrin Isaacs. I'm the chairperson of Gibeon Village Council, yes. In terms of development for Gibeon, we want to see that the local authorities and the regional council come on board, especially when we have to discuss the capital projects. And one of the main things is that we need to look into sewer regulation, water regulation, sanitation, and then more development in terms of infrastructure that needs to be looked into. And in terms of Gibeon, we are engaging with various investors to bring, fuel station, because currently that is the outcry from the community.
My naam is Marcelina Stidis. Ek is 'n inwoner van Gibeon in die Hardap region en my aanvraag op die Hardap Regional Council of enige corporate daar buite is om na ons dorpie te kyk. Ons sukkel, ons het geen ATM, geen bank, nie bankwindoek nie, FNB nie, nie Standard Bank nie. Einde van die maand hier as ons wat werk, as ons pay moet ons inkom, Mariental toe, net om geld te trek. As jy iemand stuur om vir jou geld te trek, moet jy nog steeds betaal. As jy by 'n koeka shop in Gibeon wil geld trek, dan word jy amper dubbel triple gecharge. So ek sal bly wees as dit daarna kan gekyk word dat als dit net 'n mobile ATM of iets vir ons daar gebring word.
Want actually our town council to upgrade our sports staff, whereby we have to see every entertainment, like World Cup has just started now, so we are actually trying to communicate with our people so they can open up and develop our stations here, like the soccer field has to be promoted. Yeah, and that's all for now.
story starts somewhere. Ours began in 1991. From the very beginning, we have carried one clear purpose: to inform, to entertain, and to inspire. From our early analog days to the digital future, we continue to build. We have been part of Namibia's journey, traveling across the vast landscapes of our country, telling the stories that connect us. We have captured the moments that matter, the joy, the pain, the culture, the heritage, and the history of a brave and resilient people. Through it all, one truth has remained constant: it's ours. NBC has been the bridge between home and the world. Through our news, our programs, our voices, and our people, we bring the world closer to Namibia and take Namibia closer to the world. Everywhere, every day. This is more than a birthday. It is a story of resilience, a celebration of media freedom, democracy, and national pride. Join us as we look back on 35 years of growth, milestone, memories, and service to the nation. Happy 35th birthday, NBC. It's ours.
Hi there, is this your community? Maybe this one? Or this one? Wait. Maybe it's this one. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter, because here on In the Community with me, Ilago Shitatala, we are committed to bringing you stories from your community. You should feel included, because what affects one of us affects us all.
Most of our belongings are damaged because we were caught off guard by the flood.
Electricity is very expensive. We don't have money.
How has it affected your job right now? Are you getting paid? We take your plight and your challenges to our leaders. What are they saying or doing about it? We will find out and keep you informed.
Yes, the situation of overcrowded schools, it's not ideal, and therefore we came up with a decongestion plan that we are working on.
Can we develop rural areas so that rural areas can become self-sustained?
And we don't stop there. We also highlight the great work where effort is being made.
The successes are the successes of the NGOs and the different people within the ministries who do incredible work within the communities.
So we brought the service close to the community.
So tune in every Sunday at 5:30 as we continue to bring you issues that matter to you in your community. Only on NBC One.
Happy 35th birthday, NBC. It's ours. Every story